Hey, what's up YouTube? How are you guys doing today? Thank you guys so much for joining me. In today's video, I'm doing something a little bit different. I've never done this before, but I'm actually making this video in collaboration with a fellow YouTuber by the name of Baily Whiting from the UK. And what we're doing today is we are making a video on 10 tips for beginner fish keepers. So I'll be giving you guys 5 tips and he'll be giving you guys 5 tips. And also one other thing that I'm doing differently today is I'm using this microphone. So let me know if you guys like how this microphone sounds more, or if you want me to go back to using my regular microphone on top of my camera. Also guys, I will be leaving Baily's YouTube channel down in the description of this video in case you want to check out his channel. It'll be right there in the description of this video. Also guys, if you are new to my channel, if you've never seen any of my other videos before and you want to continue seeing more videos of mine, make sure you go down there and subscribe to my channel and also hit that bell notifications button so you get notified every time I upload a new video. And if you like this video, it would really help me out if you went down there and gave this video a like. I would really appreciate it, and let's go ahead and get started. So guys, for my first tip to you guys is make sure you have a cycled tank before you add fish to it. Having a cycled aquarium, tank, or a pond means that you have enough beneficial bacteria built up in the filter to convert the ammonia from fish waste into nitrite. And then the beneficial bacteria converts that nitrite into nitrate, and then eventually you remove that nitrate from your tank when you do a water change. Nitrate is much less harmless to fish than ammonia and nitrite. And if you guys want to learn more about the aquarium cycle, or the nitrogen cycle is what it's actually called, I would strongly encourage you to look that up after you watch this video because that is an entire video in itself. So the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is temperature acclimating new fish to your aquarium. And the way that you do that is just you let the bag with your new fish float on top of the water in the aquarium for about 15 minutes so that the water temperature of the water inside the bag can become the same as the temperature of the water of the aquarium. The reason that you do this is that so you don't shock your fish from transferring them from one temperature to a different temperature like super quick. That could stress out your fish and it could kill them. And then when you do add those fish to the tank, this is what I usually like to do. I usually like to get a net and put it over a bucket like this, and then I pour the entire contents of the bag through this net so that the water from the bag goes into the bucket and you just have the fish, and then you put those fish into your aquarium without the water from the aquarium store or the pet store, wherever you got the fish from. This will help prevent you transferring any diseases that might be living in the water from the fish store into your own aquarium at home. The next thing I want to talk to you guys about is adding plants to your aquarium. I think a pretty popular plant for beginners is Java fern. And I just want to let you guys know, if you are planning on adding Java fern to your aquarium, you don't want to plant the Java fern in substrate. What you want to do is either super glue it or tie it with thread to rocks, decorations, or driftwood. If you do plant Java fern in substrate, it will eventually die. And next I want to talk to you guys about conditioning water for your tank or your pond. Water conditioner neutralizes chlorine and chloramines and also detoxifies heavy metals from your tap water. If you do not do this, your fish could die. You can buy water conditioner in small bottles like this or big bottles like this. And this next tip is more a tip on fish tank maintenance, like maintaining the way that it looks, and that is going to be cleaning algae off the glass of your aquarium. This used to be something that used to be a really tedious task for me, especially because I have these aquariums right next to a huge window. And then what I did eventually is I bought one of these magnet aquarium scrubber things, and pretty much the way it works is you put one side inside your fish tank, the other side outside your fish tank, and then you're able to scrub the algae off the glass. And it makes it way quicker and it makes it super easy. So I would definitely recommend getting something like this if you want to make cleaning algae in your aquarium easier. Most of the products that I use, I will link them down in the description of this video in case you want to check those out.
Okay guys, how you doing? My name is Baily and I'll be talking to you about tip number 6 on keeping your great aquarium. So guys, tip number 6 is do water changes. Now water changes are done on the aquarium to clean up all the grime and horrible stuff at the bottom of your fish tank. And you use normally what's called a siphon, something that looks similar to this here. You put this in the water, sucks all the water out and all the dirt and all the grime. So you should probably be doing a water change depending on your tank and what you house in your tank. Averagely do a water change at least once every 2 weeks. That ensures you clear out all the grime and everything at the bottom of the fish tank and keep them looking shiny and clean so they look perfect and pristine for your aquarium at home. So once every 2 weeks is a great amount to do a water change on your new aquarium. So guys, tip number 7 is lighting. Now, when you first get your aquarium, you guys at home, especially me when I was new to the hobby, wanted to keep the lights on every single day, 24 hours of the day. Wake up and they're on, go to sleep and they're on, it's nice and dark in the room, you've got your fish tank, looks lovely, but when you first start the hobby, and however far you are into the hobby, it's best to keep the light on for a maximum of about 6 to 7 hours per day, because the fish in your tank have to realise what's the difference between day and night, and they need to know the cycle of when the sun goes down, the sun comes up. So to them, having your light on for 6 hours a day replicates the sun being out in the wild. If they're in the nature or in the wild, it would sort of replicate the sun being out for a certain amount of day, because let's face it, if the sun was out for all day, we would get fed up of it. So yeah, like I said, keep the light on for about 6 to 7 hours a day, depending on your schedule at home and whatever you have doing at home. It doesn't hurt if you turn it on when you get up in the morning, and maybe if you come back from work at a certain time, that's absolutely fine. But just ensure you give your fish enough time to have a rest period at night and turn the lights completely off. So guys, tip number 8 is tank size. When you're first going out to buy your first ever aquarium, just keep in mind what size tank you can afford, and also what fish you do want in that tank, because I feel like when you're new to the hobby, new people who in fish tanks will go out and buy an average size tank but want huge fish, and that's just not great for the fish. So what you want to do is you want to go out and buy the affordable tank for you, but think about the fish you want in it before you buy the tank, because you don't want to get a medium-sized tank or whatever you can afford and then want really big fish for it. So always think before you buy the tank, what fish do you want? What fish do you want to house in the tank? So yeah, when it comes to tank size, always remember what fish you want to house first before you buy the tank, so you have the right and appropriate space for the fish that you want to get, because it's also about if they're comfortable in their environment. So a little bit more about tank size. Tank size can vary. It can vary between loads of different sizes. I have 20 litres, 240 litres, 125 litres, a massive array of tanks, and Tobias does too. I can definitely tell he loves his fish keeping, but it's definitely important and for you guys to know that the bigger the tank, the easier it is to care for. It sounds weird and it doesn't sound right, but yeah, the bigger the tank, the easier it is to care for. So keep that in mind when you are choosing your tank. Go into the fish store, think about if you have that little bit more money or you're not too sure what size to get, think a bit bigger than what you can get, so then it's easier for you guys to care for if you're first time aquarium keepers. Alright guys, so tip number 9, that is filters. Let's have a quick chat about filters. So there are many different kinds. Canisters hang on the back, internal filters that you can stick inside your tank, but depending on what size tank you guys have at home does depend on what filter you will need. Now I have, like I said, an array of different size tanks, and I have been using canister filters a lot, or external filters, or whatever people call them, but I use them because they have a lot more beneficial media and bacteria in them, and they can house a lot more of it. So if your tank was to, if you were to have a big tank or a medium-sized tank, but your filter, it will have a lot of beneficial media inside, and more media can be housed within the bit larger filter. So that's why it is maybe best considering getting an external filter, only if you have probably quite a large tank. I'm got a 110 litre down there and I have an external filter for it, so you don't want a little 25 litre tank with a huge filter, because that wouldn't work. So always think about whatever tank you get, what will be the appropriate filter for that tank. So guys, there are different components within inside the filter. There's the carbon, there's the soft white sheets of pad, there's also sponges in there, there's all sorts of stuff with inside your filter that make up and collect the beneficial bacteria. So what you've got to realise and what you've got to understand is the fact that eventually and over time these things need to be changed. All these components inside your filter have to be swapped, not all at the same time, little bits and little and often to sort of progress it slowly, but they do have to be changed to make sure that the water inside your tank is being properly filtered. So guys, for example, I change my carbon on my filters, which are the little black granules that look like this. I change them every 4 weeks because carbon, or activated carbon, is only activated for 4 weeks maximum. So make sure you're changing the carbon every 4 weeks to give it that polish onto your water to make sure it's crystal clear and your fish are happy. So guys, number 10, top tip number 10 is feeding your fish and what to feed your fish and how often to feed your fish. So let's start with the first one, what to feed your fish. Now there is loads of different brands of fish flakes, fish food out there for you to buy for your fish. But you should keep in mind what kind of fish food, maybe ask your local aquarium store when you buy the tank or get the fish, what your fish like more. Like I said earlier, my albino Oscars, they like a more rich in protein diet, mixed with other stuff as well, but their main source is protein. So I have for them these pellets here. I have these pellets for my Oscar fish, which are probably, they're medium sized, they're not very big pellets, but they are still only young Oscar fish. And then for my other fish around here, for my smaller fish, my goldfish and everything, I have the Tetra Mini Flakes. They're absolutely fine. They've got all the right proteins and healthy fish growth and clear water. All the bio stuff is in here. So yeah, when you're definitely at your local fish store, talk to your local fish keeper about what food they like best. But you tend to find that most fish food today has got all the right stuff in it for all the fish that you will probably be keeping at home. I would say use the flakes food, it's always best for the average fish, and it's got all the right proteins, minerals, nutrients inside. But if you ever want to mix your diet up, you can always use bloodworms. I know goldfish like them especially, and also clown loach and other tropical fish do love bloodworms, and it also gives them some protein as well in there, because the fish need some protein as well. So how often would you feed your fish a day? I feed my fish at least once or twice a day. First thing when I get up, I feed them straight away, but normally I break it down, so I give them a small amount in the morning and a small amount in the afternoon or in the evening, so it gives them a full amount at the end of the day. Now, a lot of people do this differently. A lot of people feed them just once a day in a big clump of food at the beginning of the day, so they don't have to do it later, which is always great and fine as well. But it's entirely up to you. Whatever suits your day personally would be the best to feed your fish. So if you're free in the morning, feed them in the morning. If you're free in the afternoon or evening, just feed them in the evening. But always don't, do it whenever it's best for you, but just make sure you feed them a solid amount once a day is average. If you have the time, then morning and evening as well, but only little bits then. But yeah, that's absolutely fine. So once or twice a day is perfect for your fish at home.
All right, guys, so I'm just gonna go ahead and end this video up here by the pool pond. I wanna give a big thank you to Baily for making this video with me. I thought it was a really cool idea. Once again, guys, I will have his channel linked down in the description of this video. And guys, Aquamigos merch as well down in the description of this video in case you want to check that out. I hope this video helps some of you guys out. If you guys are new here, once again, my name's Tobias. I make a bunch of different kinds of videos, a bunch of pond and fish videos, and I would just like to say thank you to everybody who has watched up to this point in the video. I really appreciate that. And if you want to keep up with more videos like this, make sure you go down there and subscribe to my channel and hit that bell notifications button so you get notified every time I upload a new video. And if this video helped you out, or if you just like this video, if you wouldn't mind going down there and giving this video a like, that would help me out so much. I would really appreciate that. And I will talk to you guys in my next video. Peace.